Welcome to Soul Steps with Dr. Wrenn. I'm your heart-to-heart walking companion. These short, soulful reflections come straight from my morning devotion walks. Think of it as a chat with your bestie that feeds your mind and spirit. Walk with me or just listen and get ready to feel uplifted, informed, and inspired. Good morning, friends. It's Thursday, and boy, is it a glorious day. I'm going to start out with a quote because I just read it and I don't want to forget it. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh. Came from today's newsletter from just had to show you the moon. Maybe I'll go this way for a bit. Comes from the Center for Action and Contemplation newsletter. He says, the miracle is not to walk on water. The miracle, I'm paraphrasing, is to walk on the green earth, to appreciate the beauty in the present moment. It's not a matter of faith, it's a matter of practice. So, I know I look a little strange. I have this thing on my nose. I got it from my mom. It's called Intake. And it's like a Breathe Right strip, only it's stickers that are magnetic. And the pack comes with multiple sizes, so it actually worked out that I was able to pick a size for her, and then there was a size that fit me. And I also have a deviated septum, and I've just become accustomed to not being able to breathe properly out of my nose. But I used it last night, and because it's stickers, I didn't feel like taking it off yet this morning. I wondered if it would help my... Oh, man. Sorry, I'm about to walk into a pole looking at these stars. See if it would help my, breathing during my walk. So, okay, I sat outside. It is like 4:15 in the morning, and I have been outside laying on the ground with my binoculars looking at the moon for 20 minutes, which was amazing. And I did that because I did not want to come on here and be like I was yesterday talking about the moon. But the stars are out too. Oh, man. I'm sorry, y'all. This is amazing. This is one of the most amazing things I've experienced in a long time. Honestly. I mean, this is like 3 days of awesome moon. And when I had my binoculars, because I couldn't find my real big boy binoculars, they're in the house somewhere. My house is hungry and it eats things. So I'm putting my house on a diet so I can find things. It's the plan. And I found my digital camera, my DSLR, and I found both batteries, but I did not find the charger to the battery, which wouldn't have helped anyway because it would have been too late. Should have thought about this yesterday. So my phone did not take the greatest pictures of the moon, but I will post some of them. There's a cool picture I took in my front yard. You can see my big old swing, and but this moon it's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, especially up close, because with my binoculars, I saw, okay, there's the man in the moon, but then where the ear would be, where if you're looking at the moon, the left side, there's this, I guess it's a crater, but it kind of looks like a sun. It's like a circle, and then it has these rays going out of it. And, when you're looking at I'm looking at the moon, it's so bright, the reflection from the sun, and you can't really make out the detail, but when you use the binoculars, or somebody has to get me a telescope for Christmas. I guess not Christmas, because I'm getting a one-handed flute for Christmas. So, have permanent paralysis from spinal cord injury from car accident when I was 20. But I was a really good flute player. I was first chair in high school, made All-State, and loved playing the flute. Used to play at church all the time, and it was like one of the super saddest things about what abilities I've lost is the ability to make music with my hands. So when I was pregnant with my oldest son, I tried to teach myself how to play the trumpet, which for my woodwind players, totally different embouchure. So I have a sister who played the flute and then played the mellophone. I don't know how she made that transition to brass, but I tried it. It was an epic failure. I mean, you probably shouldn't try to play the trumpet when you're pregnant, like for the first time. Although I was getting some sounds out, and my son's grandfather, he played the trumpet, so I was trying to get him to teach me how to like do the whole buzzing. It didn't work out. So I kind of gave up that part. Then I just focused on singing. And, but I don't even know how I found this man. Maybe I was looking up one-handed flutes, and he's in the United Kingdom, and he makes one-handed instruments. I think like maybe just saxophones and flutes, but he makes one-handed flutes. So I reached out to him, and he had a flute. It's normally like years of a wait list, but he had one, I guess maybe didn't sold or that he was just working on, and he said it's available, and we've been in conversations. And so I asked my husband if that's what I could have for like Christmas and Mother's Day and my birthday, like a combo gift. That's one of my mom's tactics, by the way. If she wants something that's like a bit of a splurge, sorry, that's a train downtown Decatur. She'll be like, you don't have to give me anything else. All I want is this hat, and you can give me this hat for my birthday. It'll count for Christmas. It'll count for Mother's Day. She'll do Mother's Day. She's always got to do the whole guilt trip. She's good about that, and that's how she got this one hat a couple years ago. Funny. So yeah, I pulled a Minister Wrenn on my husband. Although I mean, it's not necessary because he's very generous. He would get me whatever I asked for. So whew, talking about trains leaving the station, my train of thought is a bit loose today, loose on the tracks. But had no idea why I went that direction. But I am excited about my one-handed flute. So yeah, so far I do like this intake. It's not very fashionable, not extremely fashionable, but it's functional. It's functional. So I'm glad I got my minutes of moon gazing. I may get some more time in when I'm all finished with my walk. Okay, so I felt like I was off the track, but honestly, like the thing that's on my spirit today is about appreciation of beauty and awe and wonder. And I was on a community group call last night for a coaching group that my friend started. That's super cool for physician women. And we were like doing an icebreaker, and like it was like, if you had unlimited money for a week, what would you do? But I was late to the call, so they were all talking about vacation. So I didn't realize that you could do anything with the money. I would have changed my answer, but since we were going with like the vacation vibe, I gave an answer. And this train does not want to stay on the track. I have no idea where I was going with that. Okay, so the concept of this time with you is like me walking with my friends, which I do all the time. So one of my favorite ways to connect with friends is to go for a hike or go for a walk, and usually we talk about everything. We're gonna talk about our kids, our jobs, our feelings, all that, but then we're gonna talk about like the state of the world, inventions that you wish you had come up with, spiritual insights, like all over the place. So my daily devotion time is a private devotion, but then like after I'm done, I come and I talk to you about it, which I actually literally do in real life. I'll call my sister, I'll call some of my friends, and I'll talk some more. It's how I kind of have ideas develop? What are my thoughts? Talk about them to refine them some more. So a lot of like the devotion book I'm working on came from, a devotion that I just kind of like marinated on, talked about, and it just kind of grew from there. So something about having awe for, I found the train. I found it. I'm not talking about the one you're listening to. I found my train of thought. I was going off on the vacation part to make the point that we will often, this train is mocking me like, girl, your mind is not staying on the tracks today. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. By the time I get to my 3 minutes, it's going to make sense. But we're 10 minutes in and you listen to Disorganized Flow Talk by Dr. Wrenn. Let's get some soul steps in. Okay, so we will often put forth an epic vacation as a way to access wonder and awe and relaxation and peace. But in fact, you can go outside your backyard or go in your front yard and find something to be in awe of. I once went on a walk and it was like a cool morning. Sorry, this train is distracting me. I mean, I'm obviously easily distracted this morning, but when I first moved in here, I heard that train all the time. And it was like one of those like movie scenes where you think you got your dream house and you go to sleep that night and then all you hear is the train. That's what it was like. But I hardly ever hear the train anymore, but it comes regularly. I block it out, but I did not block it out today. So I was going on a walk in my neighborhood and it was a cool morning. And there's this like retaining wall on my street. And it's not a nice retaining wall. Like it looks like it's about to fall down and dirt is going to fall everywhere. But what's cool about the wall is that it's covered in moss. And I told you about the Secret Life of Trees book. I think that's what that's called. But there's another book about moss. And I don't know the title of that book, but it's a similar book about how moss operates, which is so cool. Like how it regulates the environment. This little itty bitty moss. So I had been reading that book about moss, and then I saw this patch of moss and it had these beautiful dewdrops on the top of the little moss hairs. I'm obviously not a botanist or knowledgeable with the techno terms, but it was so beautiful. I took a picture of it and it was a pretty good picture, and I ended up like printing the picture, wrote a poem about it, like gave that print to my therapist as a gift, although I really wanted to keep it for myself. So it was just like a little patch of moss, like green moss. And I'm like that because I do love nature. I love nature. I love hiking in the fall when the leaves are changing colors. I love being out on a cool day with the warm sun. I love the ocean. I love being at a lake and watching the surface of the lake look like a sheet of glass reflecting the moon. Somebody told me that's how they saw the moon. I forget who that was. Somebody told me, it was someone at work, and he was somewhere, because I was going on and on about the moon literally all day yesterday. But he was saying he got to see the moon over the lake, which I was super jealous of that, because that was probably really beautiful. And so yeah, I some of my devotions the past couple of days have been talking about like heavy stuff like sin and, idolatry and all this stuff. So I got to marinate on that a little bit more before, sharing it your way. I'm still digesting. But there is a common theme around like, it's a little bit folly to like worship the thing instead of the thing that made the thing. Right? And it's like, obviously in the Bible, it's oftentimes is referring to like ancient, what they refer to as like pagan practices, which was really like ancient Greco-Roman like views about deities and stuff, how they would carve images of idols and and put their faith in the idols. It's like there's like scriptures that are just like totally making fun of like, okay, so you took this tree, you cut it down, you took part of it and you fashioned it into something you saw, and now you're praying to it, and the scriptures are kind of like, that what's that about, or you put forth an idol to a beaver or a giraffe, or like you're worshiping an animal, kind of a thing. It's a little bit, depending on your cultural perspective, that can be sort of offensive, but and also it's a little bit of a like misconstrued. There's a lot of faith traditions that have icons, even that are like, others would say, oh, like you're worshiping this image, which it's not. It's like a interface. So there's I really do want to write a whole book about things related to this concept. So I'm a little bit working this out. Oh, 15 minutes. If you're 15-minute walking companion, congratulations, you're done. I'm gonna spend a few more minutes because I'm definitely all over the place, and honestly, I want to sit with my thoughts myself and sit up here and look at this moon. So I might not stay for the full 30 minutes with you. We'll see. So, the idea is like, a lot of like Yoruba religion and Catholic, and even like, things that you might associate with like a polytheistic worldview, is not exactly polytheistic. Some of them are like, well, no, these are like different manifestations of like this one uber God, and because God is like so great, you can't like connect with God directly. You've got to like have some sort of medium, and then God can kind of like inhabit, which is also biblical, by the way, back in the day, where God would inhabit the Ark of the Covenant, and that's where the presence of God would abide. So, we are more alike than we are different. So, man, if you just read some books, you would really learn something. And so, yes, one of the pieces of good news that makes me joyful in my Christian faith is to have a belief in a personal God, in a personal loving God who cares about me specifically. I mean, it's a little narcissistic to be like, the God of the whole universe knows my name and has numbered every hair on my head. You could look at that and be like, but isn't that, what a great God is that? A God that was like so powerful and yet could become so small and tender enough to speak a word, whisper a word in my ear. That's a great God. That's a God worth worshiping. That's a God worth giving your life over to, I think. It's just my opinion. And so, God makes himself small for us all the time. So I do, I'm not a theologian. I'm just a human being. So you don't have to agree with me. And there's a lot of people that have, got PhDs in this and could, argue with me. I'm not here to argue. This is actually a one-way conversation. You talking back, I can't hear you. I mean, I guess you can make a comment, but my thing is, God makes himself small all the time. I mean, God made himself limited to inhabit a human being in the form of Jesus. I don't know how God did that, but it happens. Mysterious. God, understands that, like, whatever we think is our understanding of God is, like, really inadequate. Look at our brains. It's so small. Our mind is so small. How could we possibly think that we understand and know all the ways of God? Miraculously, God revealed himself through Holy Scriptures, but the first revelation of God was in nature, in creation. That is the first revelation before we even figured out how to write anything down or speak or anything like that. There was creation, then God put himself in a body, came and walked the earth and was like, here's how you do it, but also you're going to be greater than this. I'm still waiting on that part. And then, sorry, I've been like freaking out walking by these dark cars in the morning, like really paranoid, but no one, somebody in the car, I'm like super scared. That was scary, y'all. And this park that I live near is also super scary at night. But thank you, Lord, for your protection. But yeah, so so you have nature, you have Jesus who's like, follow me. Hey, here's how you do it. Just in case you think I'm like unfair and, too demanding, let me show you how it's done. Okay. And then go be greater. Right. Okay. And then after that, there was sacred traditions because, pen and paper was not very plentiful. So that's why there was only like a few copies of things written down. It wasn't accessible to everybody. So there were sacred traditions, oral traditions that passed down information about God. And so like all these are ways that, God was like making himself comprehensible to our finite minds. So, I really could talk about this a long time. I'm not going to, but I'm just making that point. I do care about the fact that we are so focused on differences that we are hurting each other and ourselves. I do care about that. So I do have like a personal vested interest in like helping people to have more open mind, to be able to expand their capacity for love. It's not to change your position. It's just to understand something that you are currently judging because you don't fully understand it. The amount of people that would parrot back talking points on things they know nothing of is so ignorant and harmful. And then if those people get powerful, they can really cause a lot of damage. So that is one of my motivations. But beyond all that, I really care about like people's individual lives and the inner turmoil that people stay imprisoned. Obviously I'm a psychiatrist, so I care about your mind and your inner space, not just your outer space and what things look like on the outside. The secret things that only you knew about, the things you never told anybody, the things that you're ashamed of. So what do you do with all that? Yes, you can come see a therapist, you can, see a psychiatrist, you can talk to a friend, but like there's a lot of people that aren't doing any of those things, and they're just stuck in their mind, isolated, alone, and don't have hope. So my faith has been epically central to my sanity, and anything good that I've ever done is a result of my personal faith. So that's just my story. You have a different one, that's cool. I say that because I'm saying that for myself really more so than you. I'm saying that for me because sometimes I can get into my own head like, who are you to be telling anybody how to do anything? Your life is hardly together. Facts, big facts. But also like how I said before, I don't have to be that far ahead to help you. If I went through something and struggled and made mistakes, you can learn and not have to make those mistakes. So if my life can help you to be encouraged or to be challenged in a positive way or to have more of an open mind and be more loving, well then yeah, Lord, use me for that. Use me for that. So the moon is amazing. The sky is amazing. It's not freezing cold. Well, it could still be cold. I did not play games this morning. I got up, I put on my ski base layers, and I'm comfortable. So I'm much happier than I was yesterday when I started out. But yeah, so, I'm going to try not to talk so long. It's got to be. Unless you're just sitting on an elliptical, or a stationary bike, or walking. I feel like this would be very pleasurable if you were walking. And I told a friend, like, you can listen at two times speed, which is, I listen to like everything at something faster than normal speed. unless I'm really being intentional about slowing down. But she was like, oh no. Well, both my friend and my sister was like, we like it at regular speed, you know, because then we can laugh, we can think, we can. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know. So that's what I have for you today. The Tiknon. Oh Lord, I need to look up how to pronounce his name. He's like a really important like philosopher thinker, and talking about like walking on water isn't the miracle. Like, you don't be in awe of these like dramatic miracles. Like, there's a miracle there's a miracle waiting for you today. If you just go outside, you know, wait until it's light outside, sunny, go outside and like pick up a leaf, you know, go outside and gather some things that are beautiful in nature. Go outside and take a look at a tree. Go outside and watch an ant scurry around. It's a lot of, you could consider that a mindful practice. But I believe that you will feel connected. You'll become more aware of your interconnectedness to the created earth, that we're really all one. Not to get metaphysical on you, but, you know, we're mostly empty space anyway. Our atoms are mostly empty space. So we have these illusions based off what we see. But seeing is not everything. Seeing might be believing, but it's not everything. So that's my flow talk for you today. I hope you have a great day today. Remember to move your body with love and intention. And also remember that I love you. Bye.